Protestantism to those of fading Anglicanism. The 8th stroke sounds, and I return to bed, with every intention of reading, but again I'm drawn to the panels on the wall. Each piece is about 2 feet long, 10 inches wide. The symmetrical design fans out from the middle. Carved from oak, it gives the impression of something much lighter, much more malleable, hence the name, linen fold. And it's as if a beautifully creased piece of linen has been placed on top of the wood and somehow changed its nature. After the first pleat in the equal mirrored design, the material folds back on itself, only to rise to another crease and then give way to a rolled flourish. It would take me hours to iron such a pattern into a napkin, let alone carve it into English oak. If I take the panels off the wall, they are as light as air, fit to break down the pleats like an Elizabethan Kit-Kat. Over time, for centuries and a bit, the wood has become thinner and cracked in a few places, even fraying at the edge like fabric. A bit of masking tape has been stuck down the back of the one on the left to make sure it doesn't snap, while the corner of the one on the right is fixed to the wall with blue tack. Yet for all the lie of the panel's features, there is a detail in the centre of one of them that gives the carver's hand away. It's just above a cruciform pattern cut into the design, one at the top of the central fold and one at the bottom. Looking closer, I can see for the first time that the carpenter didn't have quite as steady a hand as he might. Perhaps, like me, he'd enjoyed too much wine the night before. There's a slip, but it's also a glorious mark of the object's humanity. Certainly no machine would have made such a mistake, though no machine could have created such delicacy either. There's absolutely nothing industrialized about the view from my pillow, well, apart from a radiator and an angle-poised lamp that makes bedtime reading easier. Around the 2 noble, if somewhat imperfect panels are the marks of other pasts, some linked, some contrary. Instead of a polished oak frame, the linen-fold pieces hang on a cracked, bulbous wall between the joists of a rougher timber structure. A leaded light, with its view over to the 13th century belfry and 14th century church, is hidden behind linen curtains which we bought at one of our favourite local shops. They feature a pattern that also looks back to the Elizabethans via William Morris. There's a Victorian elm chair too, 2 brass candlesticks from my maternal grandfather's farmhouse, a glass carafe etched with stars and a matching drinking glass that rattles in the night, as well as a few thumbed books. Among them is a paperback of Virginia Woolf's Orlando, and a heavy catalogue of Bruegel paintings from Vienna that's really awkward to read in bed, as well as various weekend supplements that will soon be used to light fires. I love this bedroom, and have always slept well here, which is not something I can rely upon. I've relished collecting the things within it, adding to them over time, and although many of the items reveal layers in which I had and could have had no place, I am afforded a quiet and belated opportunity to hold their histories in my hands. It's like the house itself, placed on the edge of an ancient churchyard, in an ancient market town in one of the remotest corners of England, the house at the heart of my story. Here I encounter villagers past and present, as well as centuries of overlapping seasons and traditions to which we, Alastair and I, are adding our own. And all of them are reflected in poetry, prayers, and paintings, which deepen my attachment to the past, its customs, its objects, and its characters, whether they're as aristocratic as Orlando, or as rustic as a Bruegel. Chapter 1. Never a Native. Being a gay historian is a paradoxical experience. Dealing with periods long gone, I always feel an incurable sense of homelessness, an exile from the place and time I'm investigating and daring to call my own, because it's not my own, never was, and never can be. It's not just a matter of seasons having slipped away, but also because almost every age brings the realization that I, or my equivalent, would have had only a limited role within it, lacking identity or agency. Yet the past, L.P. Hartley's foreign country, remains such a beguiling thing. The obsession began in childhood. Most weekends my parents would wield our family National Trust card and take my brother and me off in the Austin Montego to discover a new house, a new group of occupants, a new period in time. We even had passports and collected stamps.